In my very first podcast, I just want to talk about friendship. I don't know what is friendship to you guys. I don't know how you define it in your most personal context. I don't know how anyone will actually define friendship to themselves. But you know, in my most personal opinion, friendship is someone who, a friend or your best friend, okay? It's someone who will support you in your best time or in your lowest time. They're not someone who choose whether you have a lot of ability or you don't have ability. You know why I say like that is because how many friends do you have in life? How many friends do you have in life that you can choose like this? And how many friends do you have like around your circle lah? How many friends do you have that actually support you, that remembers your birthday, that that will attend to you when you have any issue? I don't know. But for me, I do have lah. Even if I'm not like that today, last time when I'm not a motivational speaker, when I haven't started doing my conference club, when I don't really have ability, I do have friends like that, but they don't really have ability. So for me, right, as long as a friend, they really support you and they don't gossip about you everywhere and laugh about your result when you don't have ability, or they don't really talk about you at the back, that's already like the biggest gift you can receive in your life, really. Because right, I have a lot of friends who always tells me, hey, my friend, right, they always talk about me at the back of me, because I don't get good results. My friend always talk about me where I don't get good results and I fail my exam. Even in front of my friends, they also say that. Hey, for me, it's very sad to actually do it. Because when you meet this kind of friend, right, who talk about you at the back, who act like they support you, but at the back they actually talk about your result, you don't get good result, hey, she's not good in her studies, he's not good in his studies. What is the point? Like, what is the purpose of being a friend, and what is your deepest meaning of friendship? For me, right, everyone should learn to define what is your deepest meaning of a friendship. Because when you start talking about your friend at their back to your another friend, it starts getting toxic. Toxicity don't only appear when it comes to relationship, it also appears in friendship. When you start talking about your friend at their back, about their results, about, I think, like, their ability also. Like, for me, I always say lah, it's my life, I own it. Yeah, it's my life, I own it. Because when, like, what rights do any one of us have to talk about our friend's result even if they don't get a very good results? Like, what rights do you have to even gossip about it or laugh about it? I must say, because not all of us is perfect, not all of us is getting very good results. I'm not saying I'm getting very good result either. Even if today I'm getting 3.7 as my CGPA, 3.9, 4.0, does it matter at the end? Like, for me, does that result matter at the end of the day? Does that paper matter the most at the end of the day in your friendship? No. So unfortunately, the answer should be no lah. Because for me, right, there is only a few things that I think we all want from our friend. When we are in our lowest high, they are here to support us, give us a call, talk about our problem, rant about it, and that approval towards it. Not only friend, even our parents, sometimes they will, when they come back home, they are not in a very good mood. They will start ranting. Hey, this, that, because of you lah. Because you never help me clean the house and all that. Actually, a lot of time when people rant about all this kind of thing, because of you, because of that, because you never help me on this, because you never help me on that, I think some people, they just need that certain approval and that certain validation to what they have gone through in that particular day and in that certain day, because not everyone has a very perfect day, and not everyone can go through a very smooth day every single day, even ourselves. So for me, right, you should learn to admire and tolerate with the good part of them and their weakness also. So their strength and weakness, you should learn to admire and tolerate. Then only the whole friendship becomes very healthy. It will become very unhealthy when you start gossiping about it, you start talking at their back. For me, there's no meaning lah. At the end of the day, there's no real meaning to it. Right, for me, what is the most meaningful thing to me? Is when I receive a birthday gift from my friend. This is the most meaningful thing. When my friend remember my very important events, my birthday. Why? Okay, because I don't really have very good friends like throughout my life lah. Okay, I would say from kindergarten till when I was year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, my whole primary until year 9, I'll only have very good friends, because that's when I have started to have ability lah. So other than that, until then, I don't really have very good friends that actually support me, that actually will not gossip about you when you don't get good result. I don't really have. So I really cherish and appreciate all that little things that come, like birthday gift, like my friend remembering my birthday, all these very little details is something I cherish and I remember also. And I always tell my friend is that I will remember. I'll remember all the little details that you guys bring out for me, and the happiness and joys that you bring. This is something I remember lah. And this is something I think you should bring out in a friendship. That happiness, that joy. Not bring out that stress in that circle. Because everyone is already very stressed about their academics or even working life. There's a lot of different stress that many people is going through depending on their life. So there's no need to add more stress unless there's very needed to add stress to them when they are in their comfort zone. You should wake them up. That's a different case, and that should be taught in another context. But if there is no needed, I don't think there is a need to add a stress to your friend, or laugh about their results, or talk bad about it, or tell them, hey, I think you should not take this subject, I think you're not good at it. Sometimes, right, I think your most honest word doesn't help a person, but take it to this context is where sometimes not always you should bring out your most honest words. Sometimes you can just cover it and not say it and just listen and approve it in a certain time, when they say what is the problem, you approve, you give that validation to them, and only raise your suggestion opinion. This should be a better way than straight away giving your most honest answer. Because not only me I think, because to a lot of people, right, it hurts a lot. Trust me, it hurts a lot when I'm trying to tell you my problem, I don't get any validation or any approval, but straight away you give me your most honest and straightforward answer, right? I don't know how to say that. It's like you hold a knife, straight away you poke into people's heart. That is how it feels. I feel so heartbroken when you keep wanting to say your most honest answer and people don't get that approval and validation from you. And especially in a friendship and relationship, I think this is the most important thing. I don't know, like a lot of us, right, in a friendship especially lah, we do not differentiate whether this is good or bad. When for example, when we have a friend who always gossip about us, who is a bit toxic, who always only they are correct, you are always the one who made the mistake, even though it's not your fault, it's always your fault. They are the only one who is the correct one, and you are the only one who always gets scolded, who always get laughed. This may be a joke lah to many people. It's like, I'm just trying to make him happy, I'm just trying to make a joke. For me, from time to time, right, this will become very toxic. So a lot of people may think, hey, this is actually a very good thing to bring forward to their friend, but sometimes this is not what that friend would think in their perspective. It may be very different in their context also. So we should learn to differentiate whether this is coming as a good to me or this is actually a bad thing to me. Because for me, right, when a friend starts to disturb you mentally, physically, leave. My mentally and physically is not mentally abuse, and physically abuse is your mental health. Because when your mental health is disturbed, physically you are disturbed also. You are not able to perform at your best lah. And so, in what sort of way? When your friend starts to talk bad about you, start to gossip about you at your back, and the news is coming to you very fast about, Ben just talked about you, you didn't get good results, he laughed about you, this and that. The news is coming very fast from one and another. It's going to disturb you mentally and physically for the day also. If this happened once, it's okay. You can act like, I don't know. But right, if this happened repeatedly, leave. I'm not saying it's like, I'm I'm not saying it's a bad thing, whereas it's actually a good thing. Many people is saying like, hey, why you suddenly leave that group? It's not good, you know. You never inform that person. You don't inform that person. You should inform the whole group why you leave. You should inform in the most formal way. Yes, inform please. Inform the whole group. Why are you leaving? Leave. Then and after that leave. Because there is no meaning to anything when the group starts to get very toxic. They start to gossip about you, about your results, about you not coming for anything, about this, about that. This is not what a friendship's supposed to be. And when it starts to become like that, right? What is the purpose? At the end of the day, what is the purpose? I'll just say sorry. I feel sorry for those people who actually experience all this kind of thing, but I think leave lah. Because if it has to destroy you mentally, right? And every day you have to feel depressed, you have to feel sad because of what they say, because of what they have done to you, right? No need lah. There's no real purpose to anything really. Just inform it as formal as possible, leave. There is no need to feel sorry to anyone. There is no need to feel sad. There's no need to feel depressed for anyone. I must say in my most truthful word is because there is no need to feel sorry, is because it's 2 words only. Self-respect. When you leave an environment that is toxic, that doesn't protect you, that destroy you mentally, that make you doesn't perform in your best in your exam, in your academics, even your working life, or you cannot sleep because of them. Like, what do you want to feel sorry about? Like, when you get sick, who is going to feel sorry for you? No one is going to feel sorry for you. If you don't sleep well, who is going to feel sorry to you? No one is going to feel sorry for you. That bunch of toxic friends is going to feel sorry. No one is going to feel sorry. Like, leave. When things doesn't get right to you, you feel uncomfortable. Don't need to feel sorry. Don't need to feel sad for anyone. Leave. It's 2 words. Self-respect. It's respecting yourself. Not yourself physically, but yourself mentally, and your sleeping and your resting time. I deserve a rest after such a long day of studying, of classes. I deserve that rest. You know, for me, right, you know, there's one time I didn't really score good from my exam. So one of the teacher was like, hey, you know, right, the teacher went to the whole class and show my paper to the whole class and tell the whole class he will never pass this subject again, to my whole friend. And my friend was laughing about it lah, because it's very funny to a lot of people, because you didn't pass the subject, you keep failing from the subject. But the action may seems like, oi, I'm trying to motivate him to work harder. It can be from a friend or a teacher, but this is a very bad gift to a person. This is a very bad motive to a person. Because when you do this, it's destroying them internally, their confidence to work harder again. Sometimes, right, in whatever action we want to do in a friendship, right, change your perspective. It can be whatever suggestion that your friend is trying to give you, or tell you, change your perspective. To think about every suggestion or every opinion that is raised up to you. Change that perspective and think, if this happened to me, how would I think about it? How would I deal with it differently? Because a lot of people don't change their perspectives now. Everyone is just thinking, I'm the best, I'm the correct one. This is your ego that's disturbing you. There's nothing to do with anything. That's your ego that's disturbing you if you do not change your perspective. Why? I tell you, me personally, I'm a very lovely, friendly, caring person. I like to care for a lot of people. I wish everyone would like me. I wish I can care for everyone, mentally, physically. I don't know. I wish I can give the best for everyone, right? But when I was young, I used to be like that lah. I wish that I can take care of everyone. But as I grow up, right, I start to realize that you cannot take care of everyone and make everyone happy, because no matter how good you are lah, in your academics or your working life or whatever in your career, there will be some people who actually doesn't like you, who has very different opinion about you, who has very different perspective about you. But you should protect those people who believe in you and trust you, because they are the one who actually understand you. So a lot of time, right, when your true friend gives you that suggestions, that kind of opinion, listen and take it into consideration now. Because right, when you take it for granted, or you don't take it into consideration, or you just want to raise your own perspective and opinion every single time, and you don't allow other people to raise their suggestion or opinion, right, and you don't wish to listen also, right, who would want to advise you ever again? You tell me? No one. So listen when you are supposed to listen, because they may be correct in that certain time. Even if that friend, they are not very good academically, better than you also. You are probably better than them. Probably you are straight A student. They are like BC. Okay, their grade is BC, but they are not academically better than you. But sometimes they may have different experience that is different from you. Take people's advice into consideration, so people feel that they are being looked into. When a friend feels that, right, they will feel their importance to you, rather than when they try to advise you something, okay, but you never take it into consideration, then no one will not advise you again. Trust me, people hate it a lot. So change your perspective, because everyone has very different experience. Change, because when you change a perspective and think, why they actually gives me that kind of opinion and suggestion, you have very different thought and very different feeling about that certain suggestion and opinion that they give you. It may be very straightforward at that certain time, it might actually hurt you a lot, but use a certain way to disturb your ego, because usually when we get hurt from any suggestion or opinion that comes into us, right, it's actually our ego that's disturbing us most of the time. For me, right, you know what is the biggest mistake I made in my friendship last time and even now lah, but now I would say it's very hard to do it. It's not very easy. Even now, I don't really do it. So a lot of people say, I don't feel like you are very committing in how would I say it? It's like I don't feel like you always talk in a group or anything lah, or speak up, okay, or stand up for yourself. It's something that I feel very hard to do. Okay, but I really changed a lot this few years lah, because I know this is actually a very important thing to do, not only in friendship but even in family and even in relationship. I don't personally think that speaking up only appear in relationship. I think speaking up about your thought, opinion, or whatever lah, whatever thing that you don't like or you're unhappy about or you're happy about, should appear even in friendship. Because like there's one time I was calling my friend, right? I was sharing with my friend about one of my experience lah, okay, and I was saying, like, I feel like no one understand my experience, like I talked to many of my friends about this experience, like this very bad experience of me in my most personal level. Is like, it hurts me a lot, and I told many of my friends, and I don't feel like anyone actually understand this kind of experience. Change your perspective. Why should anyone understand you? Because they never go through it. So speaking up, it's a good thing, but never expect someone to understand you. Never. Because not everyone is probably as mature as you. Not everyone has a very similar experience as you. So never expect someone to actually understand what you are going through at a certain point, at that certain period of time, at a certain year, age. Never. Because at the end of the day, right, if you expect too much from someone, it's going to hurt you. And most of the time, when we expect too much from a person and you don't put that expectation on yourself, it appears to be toxic. And it feels like you are watching too much K-drama. You are putting that perfect person into that person and you want to imitate it. It's impossible. It's not nearly impossible. It's impossible. So never do it. So that's why I say no one should know how you feel or what is happening to you unless you speak up. If not, I don't think anyone should ever understand what you're going through at that time. There's one thing, right? I don't think it appears a lot, especially in one gender. Sometimes lah. It's you give your friend a hug when they are going through a very hard time in their life, or in their lowest time they didn't get a very good result or anything. For me, right, as we grow up, we tend to do it lesser and lesser. Because as we grow up, we feel like this is actually a very uncomfortable thing and it's a very cringy thing to me. But it's actually the warmest thing to do in life. For real. Listen to Jayden, because I know, it's not that I know 100% that it's actually doable, but I think, right, when not only friend even family, even your parents, one hug, everything is worth it of doing. One hug, one sorry, one thank you, one I love you. I really like you, I admire you, from your heart, from the bottom of your heart, from the deepest of your heart, you say it. I apologize. Everything is with there. Trust me. So, not only in relationship, but also in family, in friendship, learn to have very uncomfortable talk because it's going to help. So, people get a deeper understanding of how you live as a person and how you are as a person. Don't always have this thing called I think. Why? I think it's the biggest misunderstanding you can have in your life. Always, I think he's gonna be like that one. I think it's going to be like that one. I think he thinks like that. I think he's not gonna come down. I think he don't want, but ends up he wants. Sometimes a lot of things we try to assume how other people might think, what other people might want. When we assume it wrongly, we tend to misunderstand that certain meaning to it, and this can cause argument. Don't always assume when you don't have to. When you can get a direct answer, please get the direct answer. Don't assume. There is no need to assume. When you can get a direct answer, don't assume lah. I think right, for me, I don't know, taking a step back is better than winning in an argument or a conversation. It's not about how good you are emotionally, It's how much you cherish this friendship that makes you want to do it. For me, right, if you cherish that friendship more than a lot of things lah, not more than anything, I would just say a lot, you will take a step back during a certain argument. Not saying, hey, you hurt me or something. It's when you argue lesser. I'm not saying argument is bad, I'm saying argument is good so people understand you, but during a certain argument, there is no need to fight. Because sometimes taking a step back, accepting defeat is better than winning. Not only in friendship, but also in relationship. It's the best thing to do in life. I cherish her. For me, I don't really argue with my friend. I don't really scold my friend. And I don't really say things that it's very hurtful. And I don't choose my friend based on ability, I choose it based on experience. Except club member, that's different lah. Club member, I have to do it like a club. I have to have my own policy. But if you say based on ability to choose a friend, that's not how I define my friendship lah. In my most personal level, this is not how I define my friend lah. I think a friend should always be the most, whether they have a very good academic level or in their career life they are very good or not, they should be the most supportive one. The warmness they give when you are in your lowest time. This is more important than how much ability they have at the end of the day. For me, right, a lot of people I know lah, it's like they are very sincere, they are kind, they are very warm-hearted, they are very good already, but their friend is still very toxic, they don't really treat them very good. trust me lah, I feel sad lah. Because when you are very good already, your friends still do this because you don't have very good results. They see you based on your academic level. Oh, this is not how I see it lah. Because for me, right, a lot of my friend does it also lah. Like they see based on the academic level, they don't be friend with people who are not very good. They don't be friend with people who are not very good academically. Does it matter? Like, is this how we define friend? You like try to imagine lah. If one day you actually don't have any ability already, you're not very good academically, people don't want to be friends with you, how would you feel at a certain time? You trust me, right? There is not always a year which you will go through very smoothly without any obstacles, without any lowest time lah. Honestly saying only, because last year it was a very good year for me until September, where I have very bad stomach gastric. If I go to the doctor later, I might get stomach ulcer also. The time for me is like the worst time really. But I couldn't go to my class. But my friend really needed my help that time, because they're not very good lah. I really put a hand out to help. That's why I say, right, maybe it's because I've gone through a lot. I know what is right. I know what is right in a friendship. I know what really a friend does lah. But trust me lah, at least take it from me, if you don't help your friend today, you don't put out a hand to help them when you're very good, when you have ability, who is gonna help you after this? When you're in your lowest time lah, especially. Who? Don't tell me you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of... For me, a lot of people, right, they only appear when you're very good in your ability and you're very good academically, or you have a certain status in your life or certain rank. They only appear during the time. If not, they wouldn't even appear. So this is the truth lah. And for me, right, a lot of our friends will say, hey, you're so lucky, you know. For me, right, I define it as you don't understand me. And I don't expect anyone to understand me, but I'm saying it as you don't understand how much I have worked behind the scene, because I don't record my behind the scene. You don't understand this. Because for me, right, a lot of people only sees now. People didn't see my year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10 journey. People only sees me during my year 11 till now, when I finish my foundation, all my very good result, Dean list, triple winners for Dean list, then all my top scorer. Only people see this now, but you didn't see how much I cry, how much I suffer before that. I don't think anyone is lucky lah. I just know my privilege. When I start to know my privilege, right, I start to cherish my friend more than ever. I start to appreciate my family members more than ever. I start to realize the importance of teacher. They are like my other family members also. All the teacher who supports you lah. Although they may have discouraged you, they may have said something bad to you, but if they are a very supportive teacher, I think cherish them. 10, maybe 100, only 10 that actually will be that supportive and helpful. Okay. Oftentimes in friendship, right, not everyone needs suggestion. Even like for me, right, I don't need your suggestion always. Because a lot of time when I ask my friend for something, or I ask for, or I tell them a certain issue, a lot of us are, because when we are very warm-hearted, we are very kind, we are very sincere, right, we will tend to fast forward every single thing to raise our opinion straight away without even listening to the whole story lah. I think this is not a very good action to do. Okay, you might think I already know your story, but right, for a lot of people, especially like me, right, I don't need your suggestion. I just want you to listen. That's it. So when you keep rushing to raise your suggestion up, it will feel a bit like you are trying to push the process rather than slowing down the process. Because a lot of people, when they're not in a very good mood, or not in that moment to fast forward every single thing, then make sure to slow down. Even in a relationship, make sure to slow down when you don't need to fast forward everything. There is no need. Like, sometimes, right, in life, when there is too many information or too many facts that's coming to you, learn to slow down, learn to put it back on track, and learn to slow down the pace, so everyone is able to catch up to that pace and it feels comfortable and not pushy. And when people feel comfortable, people will come up to you more often to tell you about what they are actually going through, what is their story. People would want to come up to you more rather than, hey, I'm not gonna come up to this person, because they don't even listen to me. They just want to raise their suggestion and tell their opinion. At the end of the day, they just show how good they are. This is how people would think, you know. But in your perspective, in your stand, is like, I'm just being a very good-hearted person to raise my opinion. Why do you think like that? It's because you are not following their pace. You are following your own pace according to you, not according to them. So I say, right, sometimes people don't need your suggestion. People just need you to listen to them and follow their pace and feel how they feel at that particular moment. At least try to feel how they feel. It's better than every time I just want to raise my suggestion and rush the process. You know, I'm gonna quickly finish the call and end the call. Then what is the point of calling? No point really. For me, right, probably you can say it's a very good thing to do. Probably you can say, what right do I have to say? I just say, I want to share my experience and just tell you that it's not a very good thing to do. It creates a lot of bad impression. It creates a lot of misunderstanding and a different perception that your friend might have, a different opinion your friend might have about you because of a certain action you do. To you, alright lah, it may seem like I'm very kind-hearted. I'm already a very good friend that always gives you suggestion and opinion. But to a lot of people, this is not the case. This is really